What's up everyone? This is the iPhone X, the most expensive smartphone Apple has ever released. It has been redesigned with class-leading hardware, a high-tech screen, and slimmed out bezels. I'm going to tell you why you should buy this over the Pixel 2. And this is the Pixel 2 and the Pixel 2 XL, completely redesigned compared to last year's model, has a bigger screen, thinned out bezels, and one of the best smartphone cameras that I've personally ever used. Now I'm going to tell you why you should buy this over the iPhone X. The iPhone X is Apple's most beautiful design to date. It completely shrinks the bezels, introduces the first OLED panel on an Apple device, and removes the fingerprint scanner by introducing Face ID. In fact, the only big bezels remaining is the notch on the top of the phone. It needs to be there for the camera and 3D facial recognition. The back of the phone is glass, just like the iPhone 8 and 8 Plus, which means you can now wirelessly charge the phone. It's still water resistant, and it also has stereo speakers, which get louder and sound better than the ones on the Pixel 2 XL. It's true, the Pixel 2 XL doesn't have wireless charging, and the front-facing speakers are more than fine. Now, they may not sound as nice or as loud as the iPhones, but they're still better than most. Plus, if that's a major concern, the smaller Pixel 2 sounds much closer to the iPhone X. You know what? At least there's no disgusting notch on either Pixel. The screen happens to be bigger at 6 inches, and the bezels are slightly larger, but mostly to accommodate the dual speakers on the front. Now, look, I get it. Face ID sounds really cool, but a fingerprint scanner is still much faster to log into your smartphone. As you can see here, it easily beats the iPhone X. Notch or not, this has a much better design. It also has a much better display. It's 5.8 inches using Samsung's OLED displays with Apple's own color profiling. This is what you get from that. You get a display that's brighter and more pleasing to the eye than something like Samsung's Galaxy Note 8. Now I'll admit there's a tiny bit of blue tint when you shift the display, but trust me, it's not nearly as bad as what you see on the Pixel 2 XL. The notch does mess with watching movies. You either have to cut the amount of viewing space or completely zoom in. Look, the blue shift is there, but do you use your phone on a tilt all the time? I'd rather have a 6-inch display than a hideous notch, which essentially makes your phone's screen smaller than advertised. I get it. The LG OLED display isn't perfect, but it's fine. The average consumer won't notice the difference, and most tech reviews are blowing it way out of proportion. Now here's the thing, if that's a big deal to you, buy the smaller 5-inch Pixel 2 instead. It uses Samsung's OLED technology without any color shifting. Let's talk performance, and Apple is always at the top of the list for the most fluid smartphone experience. This year it pushes the boundaries again with its powerful A11 Bionic chip. Apple's one of the only companies that can kind of get away with only having 3 GB of RAM because they provide the synergy between the software and hardware experience. Now, the great thing is because Apple has control over everything, this is how they can do it. Honestly, maybe a year or two ago, I'd agree that the iPhone was the smoothest phone on the market. But now that Google is in the game, they pretty much do the exact same thing on hardware that's not nearly as powerful. The Pixel 2 is just as zippy. Google's providing their own flavor of Android that's clean, optimized, and user-friendly. In fact, Android as a whole deals with notifications better, offers a customizable experience, and Google Assistant makes Siri look like she belongs in a dumpster fire. Excuse me? I'll throw you in a dumpster fire and take a picture with the iPhone's amazing cameras. Speaking of which, there's 2 of them on the back. Both help to take pictures in portrait mode. Now essentially what this does is it allows you to blur the background of your shots. The phone also has some fancy lighting modes to change the feel of a picture, so depending how the mood you're in, you can do cool things. And a second lens that can zoom in up to 2 times. It's crazy that the iPhone X needs 2 lenses to do all that. The Pixel 2 has one, takes better photos, and also has a portrait mode. Sure, it doesn't have a telephoto lens, but to be honest, that 2-time zoom is not that significant. And all those lighting modes you're talking about are pretty much gimmicks. I'll give you this though. Even though the Pixel 2 takes better photos and has better video stabilization, the iPhone X has a cleaner image when shooting video. Let's let the viewers decide for themselves. So let's talk about battery now. And the battery on the iPhone X is good, but not great like on the iPhone 8 Plus. I usually start the day around 6 a.m. and end it around 11, with about 10 to 15% battery life left. It's still a bit better than the iPhone 8, but I'll be honest, it's really nothing to brag about. The wireless charging helps to top up here and there, but man, I really wish Apple would include an iPad charger in the box for faster charging. If battery life is the most important feature to you, the Pixel 2 and the Pixel 2 XL do a much better job. The Pixel 2 will net you 4.5 to 5 hours of screen on time and get you through the entire day. But if you want the best battery life, the Pixel 2 XL will get you a day to a day and a half, beating out the iPhone 8 Plus. Also, unlike the iPhone, you get a quick charging adapter in the box. It's kind of ridiculous that you don't get one on a phone that costs $1,000. So here's the bottom line. The iPhone X is expensive, but here's the thing. If you want a consistent experience, a great camera, amazing display, all packed into a beautiful design, the iPhone X is the one to get. But if you want a phone that is equal or if not better than the iPhone at a slightly lower cost, the Pixel 2 or the 2 XL is the phone for you. It has the best camera I've used this year, the best Android experience, and incredible battery life. So that wraps up our review of the iPhone X and Pixel 2. Let us know in the comments below what you think of both phones and which one is your favorite. Thank you so much for watching this video. If you enjoyed it, feel free to hit the like button. If you're new to the channel, subscribe. And as always, I will see you in the next video.